Something happened last month that almost no one noticed. Not on CNN, not on BBC, not even on most financial news channels. While the whole world was watching missiles fly over the Persian Gulf, while news anchors were counting explosions and tracking troop movements, a different kind of war was being won. Quietly, bloodlessly, without a single shot fired. And the country that won it? It never even showed up to the battlefield. I'm going to show you exactly what happened, exactly how it was done, and exactly what it means for your life, your savings, your job, the price of everything you buy. But I'm saving the most important part for the very end of this video, because if I tell you now, you won't believe me. You need to see the full picture first. Before we go any further, quick question. Where in the world are you watching this right now? Drop your city in the comments. I read every single one, and I want to know which part of the world is waking up to this story first. Let's go back to the beginning. Not last month, not last year, 1974. That's when the most important deal in modern history was made, and almost nobody learned about it in school. After World War II, America had a problem. The dollar was strong, but strength needs a reason. Gold was running out. The old system was cracking. America needed something to anchor the dollar to, something the entire world needed every single day. They chose oil. The deal was simple. America went to Saudi Arabia and said, sell your oil only in dollars, not pounds, not francs, not any other currency, only dollars. And in return, we will protect you. We will keep you in power forever. Saudi Arabia said yes, and with that handshake, the Petrodollar was born. Here's why that matters. When every country on Earth needs oil, and every country on Earth does need oil, they need dollars to buy it, which means every country on Earth is constantly working to earn dollars, hold dollars, and store dollars. And what does that do for America? It means America can print money, and the world will accept it. It means America can borrow endlessly. It means America can fund the largest military in human history without ever running out of currency. The aircraft carriers, the global bases, the financial empire on Wall Street, none of that is possible without the petrodollar. The dollar isn't powerful because America is strong. America is strong because the dollar is the oil currency. That is the system. And once you understand that system, everything happening right now in the Middle East suddenly makes complete sense. Now let's talk about China. China imports 11 million barrels of oil every single day. Say that number out loud. 11 million barrels every day. China's factories, cities, military, transportation, all of it runs on imported oil. For the last decade, China has been doing something very calculated. It started buying oil from countries that America had sanctioned. Iran, Venezuela, Russia, countries desperate to sell, willing to sell cheap, and willing to accept payment in Chinese yuan instead of dollars. Iranian oil, Venezuelan oil, Russian oil, all flowing into China, all paid for in yuan, none of it touching the dollar system. Last year, China was importing roughly 1.4 million barrels of Iranian oil every single day. Ships would stop in Malaysia or Indonesia, change their paperwork, and arrive in Chinese ports labeled as something else entirely. It was a quiet, patient, decade-long operation to build an energy system outside the dollar. And then America moved. In January, U.S. forces arrested Venezuela's president and took control of Venezuelan oil fields. China's Venezuelan supply cut. In February, America launched its military campaign against Iran. China's Iranian supply cut. In 2 months, America eliminated more than 20% of China's total oil imports. Now pause here. If you're a journalist, you write the headline, "America chokes China's energy supply. America is winning." But if you're a strategist, you ask the next question. Was China ready for this? Yes. China had been storing oil in underground reserves for years, massive facilities in ports like Dalian, enough stored oil to keep the economy running for months, even if every import stopped completely. China had Russia, already supplying 17% of its oil, already selling in yuan, already happy to sell more when Iran and Venezuela went offline. China's factories kept running. Fuel costs rose about 10%, some airline price increases, uncomfortable but not catastrophic. America fired its biggest economic weapon, and China absorbed it. But here's the part that will genuinely shock you, and I told you I'd save the best for the end. We're almost there. But first, you need to understand what America accidentally did to itself while it thought it was attacking China. The Gulf states, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, these are the physical foundation of the petrodollar. They are the countries that actually sell oil in dollars, and in exchange for that, America has promised them one thing above everything else: protection. That is the entire deal. That has always been the entire deal. Iranian drones have been striking oil facilities in the UAE. Iranian missiles have reached Qatar's gas infrastructure, the largest gas facility on the planet. Saudi Arabia is under fire. Schools in the UAE switched to remote learning because of Iranian strikes, and America, the guarantor, has not been able to stop it. The Gulf states are watching, they are calculating, and they are asking a question that once asked cannot be unasked. If America cannot protect us right now, when it is fully committed, when it has deployed everything it has, what happens in 5 years, in 10 years? Can we trust this deal forever? That question is a crack in the foundation of the entire petrodollar system. Here it is, the part I promised you. While America was fighting, China was doing something extraordinary. China's foreign minister was on the phone, not making threats, not issuing warnings, calling for peace, calling for ceasefires, calling for negotiations, talking to Iran, talking to Israel, talking to the Gulf states that were suffering. Think about what that image looks like from inside Riyadh or Abu Dhabi. America brought this war. China is trying to end it. And then the White House itself admitted it. High-level U.S.-China talks happened around the ceasefire negotiations. Donald Trump said publicly that China helped bring Iran to the table. The most powerful man in the world gave China credit for helping stop the war America started. China positioned itself as the peacemaker, and now China is having a very different kind of conversation with the Gulf states. A conversation about trade without political conditions, investment without demands, security cooperation without occupation. A relationship where China buys your oil, pays reliably, and doesn't tell you how to run your country. That is an offer that sounds very attractive right now to governments watching Iranian drones fly past American missile defense systems. Here is what the next 20 years look like based on everything the data shows. America emerges from this war with depleted weapons stockpiles, Patriot batteries, F-35s, precision munitions. These take years to replace. Every interceptor fired over the Strait of Hormuz is one less available if a crisis erupts over Taiwan. China is watching every weapons system, taking notes, identifying every weakness. The Gulf states begin a slow, quiet diversification. They don't abandon America overnight, but they start pricing some oil in yuan. Not all of it, not publicly at first, but gradually. Saudi Arabia deepens its partnership with China on Vision 2030. The UAE, already one of China's largest trading partners, moves closer. Qatar sells more gas to China. The yuan's share of global oil trade grows from 20% toward 30%, then 40%. And as the petrodollar's grip loosens, America's ability to borrow endlessly, fund its military endlessly, and sanction its enemies endlessly weakens, quietly, structurally, permanently. China achieved all of this without deploying a single soldier, without firing a single missile, without spending a single yuan on war. Because China is not playing the game America is playing. America saw a threat and attacked it, direct, visible, dramatic. China looked at the same board and thought 20 moves ahead. In the ancient Chinese game of Go, you don't win by capturing your opponent's pieces. You win by surrounding them, by controlling the territory, by building a position so strong your opponent eventually has no good move left. China did not attack the petrodollar. China surrounded it. And while America was watching the explosions, while the cameras were on the missiles and the fires and the smoke over the Persian Gulf, the most important shift in global financial power in 50 years happened in the quiet. In phone calls between foreign ministers, in oil contracts written in yuan, in underground storage facilities filled patiently for years, in infrastructure projects across 140 countries, in the boardrooms of Chinese state companies building the next century's energy networks. That is what happened. That is what almost no one is talking about. And now you know. If this made you think differently about what you're seeing on the news, share this video with one person who needs to hear it. Not to agree with everything, but to think more carefully, to ask better questions, to look past the explosions and find the real story underneath. I'll see you in the next class.